Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I'm going to do another ETF fight. So I started with ETF fights in the beginning of my YouTube career about 2 years ago, a little bit less than 2 years ago. I made two videos then, but yeah, after buying a house, needing to renovate a bit, I didn't continue with it, but now I try to pick it up again and with a fight between CHDVD and CHSPI. Why I chose those two I will mention in a little bit, but first I need to go over to the next slide and I hope you remembered this one because that means that you looked at my series about ETFs from Switzerland that invests in Swiss stocks and also pay out dividends. So here were the 10 most important ones. Okay, you have CHDIV from UBS that I didn't include it yet because it was only around for a few months on that moment, so I couldn't include it here because it was 5 years and 3 years growth. So here you can see CHDVD. It was on top with a 62% growth performance in the past 5 years, and the CHSPI performing a little bit worse than the one from UBS, the SPI CHA one, with 42% growth in the past 5 years, and then a dividend yield of 2.93%. The DXSO was not included, but yeah, it was here between the SLI CHA from UBS and the SMEEX. So not badly performing at all for the German ETF. So if you are from Germany, this one was certainly an option to buy for you. And yeah, the table, it was from the series that I made at the end of 2023. And it contains, of course, the data from 15th of December of 2023. So also the next two slides that I'm going to discuss have the data from then. So a few data on the slides are outdated, but I'm going to go over them on the 6 website and on just ETF. So I will update the data then when I go over it on the internet. And why did I include the CHDVD? Well, you know that my wife and I, we invest monthly, actually quarterly, because we need to add the money together, of course, to buy a little bit, to reduce the cost percentage a bit on Swiss quote. So for our three daughters, we invest quarterly into CHDVD. And it was the plan for my wife and I to do the same for CHSPI. And why did we choose CHSPI? Because although on the last table that you saw, it wasn't up up there. It was yeah, below the middle. So actually not that great, but still 42% up over the past 5 years. It's not bad. And we like that an ETF invests into the total market. So we don't like it when it's only the small caps. We like it more when it's the total market or the top of the market. So CHDVD is then the top of the market. The top of the market of the stocks that give dividends on the Swiss stock exchange. And it is also from iShares, so from BlackRock, just like CHDVD. But unfortunately, yeah, we can save, so that's already a positive thing, but we can't save enough to actually follow our complete plan that I talked about. So our course satellite strategy that I discussed earlier in a few videos on my YouTube channel. Yeah, we can't follow it, and CHSPI is then the one that we skip in investing in. Just like the energy ETF, I don't think we will be able to buy that soon. So the US dollars that we receive from our ETFs, where we do invest in, will go firstly into the emergent market ETF. And until we then really pick up the speed with the dollars that we receive, it will be a few years, but still it's the plan to invest in everything. But yeah, the first to be dropped is then CHSPI, as we have of course a lot of the DVD already for our three daughters. And then yeah, now I'm going to present the Excel sheets that I made if we were to invest the same amount into CHDVD and CHSPI from the beginning of 2016. As you know, then we started with investing in the SDGPX ETF. So I cleared all the data for that ETF and put in the data from the CHDVD and CHSPI. And yeah, I hope you like it. So this is just theoretically. The other one is correct. Up till now, it is correct because I think in this month we need to do a new investment into SDGPX, and I don't know whether or not we will succeed actually in buying enough, because we also, besides the 900 euros that we need to invest into SDGPX, we also need to invest the same amount of the dividend that we received, but I already reinvested that one into the other European ETF that we invest into. So maybe I made a mistake there, but on the other hand, we also need to reduce our exposure to the euro. So I'm still debating about it, and I'm going to discuss it with my wife what we are going to do. But I will keep you posted anyway at the end of this month with the update of how our portfolio is performing. So just subscribe to this channel and you get a notification if you hit that bell icon when I upload one of those videos later on this month. So the CHDVD, it follows the SPI Selected Dividend Index. It has a total expense ratio of 0.15%. This data is outdated, of course, but yeah, Swiss francs, that's also really nice for people living in Switzerland. It still invests in 20 holdings. This won't be correct anymore, but it's still a fully replicating one, also not correct anymore. And as you know, it gives 7 dividends, but the 7th and the 6th one are actually on the same day in July. So that's why I put 6 and 7 like that. The dividend yield was a little bit over 3%, and these were the dividends that they paid out in 2023. So then the CHSPI, so it tracks the complete SPI from the 6 stock exchange, total expense rate of 0.10%. So it notes in Swiss francs and it's also paying out in Swiss francs. Again, quite nice for Swiss people. Holdings, it was 210, but I will update it shortly. A sampling one, so not fully replicating one. This is not correct anymore. And this paid out 1 dividend less than the other one. And yeah, only in May they didn't pay out a dividend. Maybe they are going to do it this year again, but we will see. The dividend yield, it was a little bit lower than 3%, but not far off. And these were the dividends that they paid out last year. So let's go to the internet. So if you go to the website of the SIX stock exchange, you can look up CHDVD in the ETF Explorer and CHSPI. You click search, you get those two results. So right now the SPI one is a little bit down, 141 right now, and the iShares Swiss dividend is up a little bit with 0.03%, so it's now 156.12. And if we then go to the iShares core-SPI ETF, here you can see the performance of the past 52 weeks, so up 7% and year to date up 4.33%. If you go to the fund details, there you can see the dividends that they paid out this year already. So the 7th of March 0.78 and the 14th of March 0.64. So yeah, not bad at all. And did it go up actually? So 0.78, that's the same, and 0.60 up to 0.64. So on the 14th of March they paid out a slightly higher dividend than last year, which is quite nice. And the iShares Swiss dividend ETF, so that one is up 11.37% over the last 52 weeks. So that's higher than the SPI one, but the year-to-date change is a little bit lower, so up 4%, 0.02, and the other one was up 4.33%, I thought. 4.23%, so not that much of a difference, but still. And now this one is up only 6.90, but it changes all the time, of course. And then when you go to the Just ETF website, here you can see that now there is 2.9 billion invested into the core SPI one, and there are now 208 holdings, so no longer 210. The performance over the past 3 years you can see in the graph. That's always 3 years standard, but you can change it here if you want to. And you can do the ETF comparison here. I really like this. So if I just quickly do it, CHDVD, and I include it, then you immediately see what I'm going to point out later, that the CHDVD outperforms the core SPI one. So yeah, it invests in Nestle, Novartis, Roche, UBS. That's actually one of the most important differences, and Zug as well. I think the iShares Swiss dividend don't invest in UBS and Zug. Zurich Insurance, ABB, Sika, Holcim, and Alcon. And the performance, yeah, you see the last years it's all positive. Only 2022 was negative. We all know why that is, of course. And then yeah, the monthly dividends. So up till now it's not updated yet with the one from the 14th of March, but yeah, quite nice performance. So the other one, 20 holdings still, and 2.3 billion invested into it. If you look here, less negative than the CHSPI one, and of course, yeah, we saw it when I included the CHDVD in the graph of CHSPI, that it clearly outperformed the CHSPI one. So here, Novartis, Nestle, Roche, Zurich. So UBS isn't there, Zug isn't there. So yeah, I like that more because I don't like to have a lot of financials. But strangely enough, here financials it's 22.92, while on the other one it's financials it's only 17%. So although UBS isn't there in the CHDVD one, still the financial sector is more presented in this one. Also here, performance quite nice. 2022 they underperformed a bit, but still outperformed the CHSPI one. And here, once again, the dividends are depicted in schedule. And then I can return to the presentation. So now what I'm going to show you is my Excel sheet, and in the Excel sheets, so it starts in 2016, just because, yeah, the SGPX, we started investing into it in 2016, so that's why it is like that. Every month we save 300 Swiss francs for our kids, the CHDVD, and after saving 3 months, we invest the saved up money plus the received dividends, so the net received dividends. So, and that's in order to reduce the cost percentage. So Swissquote, it is not cheap like some other brokers that are around, but at least in Swissquote I can make sure that they don't sell or rent out my shares to short sellers compared to other sites where you don't have the option. You do have the option then, but then they aren't cheaper anymore than Swissquote, but also not expensive like most of the normal banks, because a lot of banks here, they charge quite high, yeah, stock exchange fees. So Swissquote is then with around 9 francs, one of the cheaper ones. And we have to keep enough in the bank when we do the investment to be able to pay the quarterly fees, and especially the one in July is important, especially in the beginning. When you start investing now, it's less important because we still receive a dividend in July, so that's important that you know that. But we always invest like we don't receive the dividend. So I always keep in March, I keep at least 22 francs open. In September I do the same. In September I do the same, and in January I do the same, and in the beginning of July when I invest, or it's October, and where I do the same as I do in March and January, in April and in January. And then in July, when I invest, I keep 2 times the amount open for the quarterly fee. So that's important that you know that. And then the max dividend withholding tax of 35% is withheld. And I know that isn't actually correct, because after the tax return, for most of the people, the income tax is only 23.5% on average. For us, it's a little bit less for my wife and I. So it's around 22.8%, I think. But yeah, the thing is, because Swissquote already withholds the 35%, the only amount that we have on our account ready to be reinvested is of course the 65% that is left. So I made the calculations with that, and I know that's not completely correct, but it's theoretically, so being not completely correct, but doing for every ETF the same is for me more important. So let's go to the CHDVD investment. So if you look at this spreadsheet, so I'm going to go first to the very first beginning. So starting to save in January 2016, being able to invest on the 1st of April of 2016, buying immediately for 3 months, buying at the price of 95.96, 97. So we could buy 9 ETFs with a cost of 13.15, and this gave an input of that amount, so with the cost included. And up till now, we have received 198.23 Swiss francs netto in dividends from that investment. So in theory, because it's theoretically, but you get the picture. And yeah, if you look at it, the total profit is 726 already, because of course the current price of the ETF, and that's the end price of yesterday evening, so 156.08 brings the total profit loss to a profit of 726.07. So a lot of yeah, gain in price as well, besides the dividend that we received. And then here I start actually combining everything. So the first year, when you look at this one, it's adding all the dividends together and calculating what is the expected dividend that we will receive for the rest of the year, when we receive more or less the same dividends as the year before, and with the amount of stocks that we have at that moment. So that's always the estimate that I make, and then you can see how much it is in a month, how much it is per day, and how much dividend it is from 300 Swiss francs. So and the total dividend, this is corrected for with 0.65, because we only receive 65%, of course, with 35% tax that is withheld. But I think here I made a mistake, because it's not net. So later on in when I go over the end results, I will correct that. So, but I just continued, and here you can see this, because there was an increase in the cost of Swiss code from 15 to 20 with 7.7 Mehrwertsteuer. So that was a total of 21.54 Swiss francs. And now it's going to increase again to 21.62 Swiss francs, because the Mehrwertsteuer is going to go from 7.7 to 8.1%. And the last investment was done on the 3rd of January, when the stock market opened, and it was at 150.72 Swiss francs. And the last dividends that we received then theoretically was on the 7th and the 14th, 0.74 and 0.86. And yeah, this is then the total amount. And yeah, then I calculated over the total amount of stocks, for that amount of stocks, how much it brought in for those, and that I always count together here in the output. So on the investment of the 3rd of January of 2020, we already received then almost 80 Swiss francs net. But of course here, this is the most important one. So this graph, this shows the total invested money of our own money. That shows the invested total money, so with the dividend reinvested included. And then you can see the actual worth of the portfolio at the moment that we do the reinvestments, of course. And here you can see that, yeah, after a little bit over 2 years, we dropped actually below the amount. So then our return was negative. Later on in 2019, it was negative again. And then with the Corona crisis entering, in 2020. There we dropped below the total invested money again, but since then it picked up, and we now are at a total value of 36,775 compared to an investment amount of 31,593.11. So the dividends received, this is the net amounts. So the last date was 14th of March this year, and that's already 136.39. And the total dividend received is 3,046.86. And this is the estimated yearly dividends to be received. So I don't know whether or not I corrected it here. No, I didn't do it. So in fact, this should be reduced to the net amount and not the brut amount. And then let's look at it for the CHSPI. So it's just the same file, and the last investment was also on the 3rd of January with a cost of 135.04. So you see here the rest cash is 363, but of course those two numbers were added. So if you don't include them, so I will delete them. If you don't include them, there was 139.7 left, but I couldn't invest one extra share because then I would only be left with 4 francs, and 4 francs isn't enough to pay the 21.62 francs that I need left over at the end of March. Although, of course, the dividends were paid out in March, so I could have invested one extra share, but I'm not risking it. It's just the way that I think you should invest. It's theoretically, so I could put here 7 and just don't care and know that when we go below I can readjust it, but I don't do it. I just do it like the way I did it for SDGPX. And if you look at the results here, you see it's more or less the same number as we see, the same graph as we see for the CHDVD. So here we went under, here we went under. In 2020 we went under as well, but later on in 2022, of course, with the war in Ukraine starting, there we again hit the same amount. So here we didn't have any gains in actual price gain, and then thereafter it started rising again. So now it's 32,679 compared to a total investment value of 31,011.6. The dividend received, it's depicted here, but I don't think I updated it yet till the end. Okay, it's okay. And then the estimate yearly dividends to be received. So it's now 972.84. But as I said, it's not net. I should correct my formula here with multiplying it with 0.65. So the next time when I give these files, I will do that. The thing is, I took the file from the SDGPX one, and from SDGPX, because it's a German ETF, so it's DE is a number. There is no withholding tax withheld by Swissquote because we are living in Switzerland, and there is a treaty between Germany and Switzerland. So there is no double taxation, which is really good because double taxation sucks. And that's why this formula is the way it is, and I didn't thought about that when I was making this this file for CHDVD and CHSPI. So Excuse me for that. But you get a general idea. And if we go back to the presentation then, so the conclusion is that the table that I gave at the end of the series in 2023, it didn't lie at all. The CHDVD is clearly outperforming CHSPI. Excuse me. So CHDVD was on top with a 62% performance. Man, my voice. Excuse me. And the CHSPI one with 42% performance in the past 5 years. The invested own money, the capital invested, is for both the same. So it was 96 months already. So it's 28,800 Swiss francs invested for both. Then the total received net dividend is 3,046.86 for the CHDVD one and 2,434.96 for the CHSPI one. And here already the discrepancy of a little bit more than 600 Swiss francs, that already contributes as well towards the performance of the CHDVD one compared to the CHSPI one, because of course I already have in theory a little bit more stocks from CHDVD than from CHSPI because I received more dividends, so that's quite nice, of course. And then the estimated yearly dividend, the net isn't correct, excuse me for that. So it's 1,342 compared to 972.84, so brutto dividend. And then when we look at the total worth right now, with the reinvestment of the dividends, that's 38,083 compared to 34,165. So a little bit less than 4,000 Swiss francs between them, with the investment from our own capital being completely the same. But now that the SNB, the Swiss National Bank, decided to be the first bank to make a rate cut, it can be that CHSPI is going to pick up the speed, and it can be the ETF that profits the most in the coming time, because yeah, the small caps were really underperforming from 2020 up to 2024 actually, so they are still underperforming. They still didn't pick up the speed after 2020 and 2022. So that's a bit unfortunate, of course, but I hope that now the SNB decided to cut the rate from 1.75 to 1.50, that the SPI total market can start to pick up because the small caps can regain their speed, and actually also the, how do you call it, the mid caps as well. So the largest stock did really good, but the mid caps and the small caps really underperformed. And with that being said, I thank you for watching this video. I think it's again one of the longer ones, but you are used to it by now for when you are watching my videos, that I'm quite extensively talking every time in my videos, but I want to include a lot of information into my videos, so I hope you like that. So when you do like it, please consider subscribing, hit that like button as well, and hitting the notification bell. That's up to you. When you do it, you always get a notification when I post a new video. So thank you for watching, and see you on the next video on my YouTube channel. Bye!